We are in Shiping, a traditional town in the heart of China's Yunnan province, and today it's open air market day, which means you can buy just about any type of local food out here right on the streets of town. Just be sure to watch your step. The first thing I saw that really surprised me was this large yellow flower known to the locals as Dilianhua. In English, this means earthly lotus flower, but it's far more closely related to bananas. The locals eat it as a vegetable, and it's also commonly used as a folk remedy for heart disease and menstrual issues.
I can see why the locals buy it and eat it. You can't argue with that price. 5 RMB, that's probably about 75 cents US for that big of a thing. Ooh, man, getting that much food for that price. Can't complain at all. 老板，这干什么用的？有用。When the wood has this type of knot, it's because the tree is responding to some type of infection.
Instead of the massaging thingy, I went for the drink coasters made from the cross sections of small tree trunks. The flat surface is polished, but the bark's texture is left be. One shaped like an avocado now calls my desk home. And looking back, I should have gone for this Australia-shaped one as well.
It's a sea of people, mostly grannies and grandpas. All right, time to dive in. Wish me luck.
And in that sea of people, I proceeded to find something very similar to what I just bought.
It's a wood you can eat straight.
Looks like cheese.
Doesn't taste like cheese. It doesn't really have a lot of flavor. It has a slight sweet undertone.
Yeah.
But it looks like a block of wood, but you cut it off and eat it. Of all the things I thought I'd do in my life, I never thought eating wood would be one of them. One of these I'll be eating. The other one I'll be using as a coaster on my table when I get back home. Take a guess which one.
Out here, even the things that are completely familiar will surprise you.
这甜不甜？
甜。
可以尝一下吗？ She said it right, they actually really are sweet. 一斤多少钱？10块钱3斤。So I just paid 3 RMB for this amount of strawberries. 3 RMB in US dollars is about 45 cents. When's the last time you get any quantity of something to make you feel anywhere halfway near satisfied eating for 45 cents? Okay, I'm sounding like a grandpa here. Back in my day, a nickel was a quarter. Going and going and going. Ooh.
These are ham.
Ham and sausage. So much meat.
Lots of pickled veggies.
Lots of pickling. Lots of pickling. Nice. This is really like a maze. It's so easy just to I feel like it'd be so easy to get lost in here during this time.
If you couldn't already tell, my favorite thing to do in these little markets is to have a little sample, even if I'm not buying.
这是西红柿的味道吗？
这个是番茄的，
番茄的 ，OK。那就是 BBQ 的味道吗？
那是麻辣。
哦，麻辣，哦，哦。
你尝一个吧。
哦，尝 OK， 我尝一个。These are both really nice, but the sad thing is, when I was in Dali a few years ago, I had a type of Chinese barbecue flavored one that was so tasty. I was kind of hoping that was it, but that's just mala flavor. More like a hot pot.
烧烤跟番茄都没有了，只有麻辣椒盐、番茄海苔。
Ah, 谢谢. No Shaoka flavor at this stall. Sadness, very much.
But then, life decided to get a bit sweeter.
Time to embrace the stickiness. I've never had straight honeycomb before. It's nice.
The honeybees that produce this honey were kept on a farm that grows loquats, or pipa in Mandarin. The bees naturally would collect most of their pollen from the nearby loquat trees, imparting the loquat flavor onto the honey. There really is nothing like honey fresh from the farm, and this was no exception. It was real good.
好了，谢谢，谢谢。
Next stop is a novel take on something I thought I knew.
Apparently you can get cornbread down here too. a local version of it.
And of course, I had to get one.
Yeah, 3 RMB. I came in here thinking it was just going to be some small little rinky-dink village thing, but this just keeps going. I've been out here for an hour, and I'm still in the middle of these crowds.
And after what seemed like an entire Lord of the Rings trilogy worth of walking around the random and the delicious, I found a way out.
After what seems like an eternity, I actually have space to move my arms about like a normal person, or do a chicken dance. Somewhat.
But even walking back in an old town like this, I was bound to find something interesting.
Somebody had a lot of money back in the day because painting something this intricately was not cheap in the age when everything was hand done, and everything here is absolutely hand done. Especially these bright colors. It's interesting. The color palette reminds me of some of the ancient artifacts. They actually still find evidence, and it has the exact same appearance. For example, on Qin Shi Huang's Terracotta Warriors, it's a very similar color palette that you'd see, like the blues and the reds, and it all looks just like has the same type of texture and appearance. And fun fact, all those marble statues from ancient Greece that you think just like colorless in their beauty, guess what? They were not only painted, they actually used perfumes on them, so they'd have scents too.
The open air market in Shiping takes place on all mornings on days of the month that are divisible by 5. Villagers not just in Shiping, but in all the surrounding areas bring their fresh produce and other products here to sell. Functionally, it serves the same purpose as a grocery store and a department store rolled up into one, but this has so much more character and vibrancy than either of those put together.
So we went to the wet market for 30 minutes, 2 hours ago, and we got this cornbread thingy. Now it's time to eat it because I can actually have some space to think. See how it compares to its American counterpart. It's more like a corn pancake on the outside with kind of a more sticky filling. I feel like this would also work very well as a dessert if you added more sugar. This is a nice morning breakfast, and this actually fits an American palate very well. First time biting into the honeycomb. Let's see if the bears really do know something that I don't. I almost ate a little bit of the plastic. I can really taste the pea pie in the honey. It adds such a depth to it, like that's fresh and not like in a very homogenized way. It really makes a difference in flavor. It has so much more character than just some of the store-bought stuff you get. So what the bees are pollinating off of directly affects the flavor in a big way.